Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video is on the law of sines, okay? And I'm presenting this video to you, remember, as an enrichment. Enrichment meaning that this is not part of our normal curriculum, but I'm hoping as you go through Khan Academy with me the next 5 to 6 weeks, that you really start looking forward to challenge yourself. And we've talked about that in class many times, and we will again many times in the future. So here's a little intro to law of sines. So if we take a look at problem 4 here, notice that we do not have a right triangle. Even that angle right there, notice in purple, is an obtuse angle, right? Now the question is, what is the measure of angle A? So I'm going to change color to gold here. So I'm trying to find this measure of angle A right here. And since we don't have a right triangle, guys, we can't do SOHCAHTOA. We can't do Pythagorean theorem. So what do? Well, there is a special law that I want you to get familiar with called the law of sines. And the way it works is quite simple. Does everybody agree that this side, 10 kilometers, is opposite of angle A? And notice this side, 17 kilometer, is opposite of this angle here, 48. So if you agree that those are opposites of each other, we're going to match them up using the law of sines. And here we go. I know that the sine of 48 degrees, if I match that up with the side, which is 17, I know that ratio will be the same as taking the sine of A, and matching it up with the opposite side from it, 10. And notice we have a nice simple proportion right here. And all I'm going to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to take 10 times sine of 48. 10 times the sine of 48 degrees. And I know that equals 17 times the sine of A, angle A. Okay? And I can solve for sine of A if I now divide by 17. If I divide by 17, notice 17 divided by 7 is 1, and I'm left with the sine of A equal to 10 sine 48 degrees divided by 17. And so now, how do I find angle A? Well, I'm going to do the sine inverse. Okay, some refer to it as the arc sine, but I'm going to do the sine inverse of all of that right there. And the idea is sine inverse cancels out sine. They're inverses of each other. So I'll just have A, angle A, the measure of angle A, okay, equal to the sine inverse of all of that there in gold. And let's see here. If I go to my picture now and I enlarge it, you will notice in my calculator here, right here, I did 10 times the sine of 48 divided by 17. And then I took my answer, and notice right here in purple, I took the arc sine or sine inverse, and that, ladies and gentlemen, tells me that the measure of angle A is 25.9 degrees. That's not showing up very well. Let me use gold. So it's 25.9 degrees, or if we round it off, it's approximately 26 degrees. Okay? So pause the video and make sure you follow along with what we did on this problem. Okay, so I thought would be a good idea is why don't you pause the video again and try this problem on your own. Okay, so now that you hopefully tried it on your own, let's see how you did. Does everybody agree I have this angle 91 degrees, follow the gold, and it, across from it, opposite of it, is this side 28. So using the law of sines, I'm going to say the sine of 91 degrees goes with 28. And that ratio equals, notice I'm asked to find angle A over here, and opposite of it is this side 24. So I'm going to say the sine of angle A, the ratio of that with its opposite side 24. And guys, that's basically the main important part. Did you set it up correctly? So now let's solve it. Does everybody agree I cross multiply, and that right there says I have 24 times the sine of 91 degrees, and that equals, cross multiplying this way, 28 times the sine of angle A. And all I need to do now is divide by 28 both sides. Divide by 28. And notice I now know that the sine of A equals 24 times the sine of 91 degrees divided by 28. And to find A again, I'm going to do the sine inverse on both of these values, or the arc sine, as a trig teacher may say. Okay, and I'm now going to be able to figure out what A is. And if you look over here, again, at my little picture, you will notice that the sine inverse, follow the green, of 24 times sine 91 divided by 28 right there is 58.98. So I'm going to just say it's 59 degrees. Okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my missing angle. So pause the video. Now guys, this was an intro to the law of sines, and even if you're not expected to learn it, I hope you agree that this is an easy thing to learn. Well, easy is, I guess, not a fair word, but it's something that's doable. And I have faith that every one of you in my class can learn this if you really try and you concentrate on it. Okay? So until next time, bye.